Hey everyone, this is Patrick, and I am back for some more first reactions. I am covering the metal releases that I got to that were either released on Friday, March 24th, or today, as I'm recording this, Sunday, March 26th. Got to 5 releases, and let's begin. So, first up is the English black metal band Dawn Raid. To Know the Light is the name of their record. Came out on Prosthetic Records. 10 tracks, 42 minutes and 5 seconds. Uh, it's kind of hard to like. It's gonna sound contradictory, but on paper, what I was reading about this band, I felt like it was going to go either way. I was going to either really enjoy it or really dislike it. And by the end of this listen, I definitely did not enjoy this very much. This is one of my least favorite listens of recent memory. It is black metal, uh, pockmarked with sort of English folk protest, protest poetry. It's lamenting the current state of affairs, and the black metal itself doesn't do a lot for me. So I don't like how it's pockmarked with these disruptions, and I don't think the black metal on it is very strong either. Typically, I normally, you know, if I get through an album, I'm gonna put it on this list, and I mostly get through albums that are at least a 7, right? But I gave this album an entire and a thorough listen. I gave it a chance, and I had to include it because I listened to the entire album, and yeah, did not like it very much at all. Next up is Xalpen with the Curse of Wanyep out on Black Lodge Records. This band is from Chile. 10 tracks, 48 minutes, and 40 seconds of music. This is maybe best described as this is black metal. We'll just leave it at that. Started strong. I had some very strong moments. I like the drum tempo changes. By the end of this, though, this was also a slog to get through. I am going to give it a 7 out of 10 because I always think of sort of if I was teaching a class, how to compose. If I was teaching a black metal course, and students turned in this art, but it's definitely not a D project, right? This is definitely passable. You get the full credits of the course, black metal, with even some moments that you know um, almost break through the 8 out of 10 point scale. But yeah, overall didn't end up enjoying this very much at all. There are a lot of lows, and the highs don't pull it up further than a 7 out of 10. Definitely give it a listen. You might like it more than me. Speaking of might liking it more than me, Lamp of Murmuur put out Saturnian Bloodstorm today, this morning. This is the album I was listening to when I was putting together this slideshow. Lamp of Murmuur is a really popular in the underground raw black metal scene. Put out a bunch of demos, put out a few albums. Uh, from my memory of their sound, I haven't checked out a full album, but it first started as sort of more what you think of in terms of raw black metal, and then it started to also incorporate uh, some kind of art rock, indie rock influences, I would say. This album right here is being pegged as some immortal worship, and it is that, though without 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 the riffs. It sort of is again. It's sort of a attempting to sound like immortal, and it's not that. It doesn't sound like immortal at times, but This just didn't really stick with me at all on this first listen. I thought I would like it more than I did. Definitely don't plan on revisiting this one either. Gotta give it a 7 out of 10. And I think, yeah, some strong riffs on track 1 and the final track, but doesn't do a lot for me. Up next, we have Guts with the album DK. This is a death metal band from Finland. Finland. Love death metal. 9 tracks, 35 minutes, and 20 seconds of music. I think this is a good first attempt. There are some catchy riffs on this album, catchy in the more biffic style, in the more biffic sense of the word catchy. Bass lines come through. Don't necessarily love the vocals too much. Given this a 7.1 out of 10, I might give it another spin to see if I end up liking it more than I remembered liking it on the first go through. And, for someone who doesn't listen to as much death metal, they might like this more than me, which, is what it is. Definitely passable as well, as far as a good first debut attempt. But just doesn't stand out above the really, really competitive field, so to speak. So, finally, we have Aphotic with Abyss Gazer out in Sentient Ruin. This is a post-death doom outfit from Italy. 10 tracks, 44 minutes, and 3 seconds. I've given this 2 listens, and it has fallen dramatically after that first listen. I first thought it was around a 7.9 out of 10. My second listen, it kept falling pretty hard. I'm going to actually have to go with a 7.1 out of 10. I really like the chugging, heavy, dense transitions that they use this really good heavy groove, chuggy parts to transition into more of their atmospheric post-death parts. For fans of gore guts, ulcerate, funeral doom, this has a lot of elements that I like. Again, I thought I liked this even more than I ended up liking it on my second listen. Not a very strong week for me. Fact, yeah, nothing here. So at this point, nothing from this week will be revisited. But so, what are some albums that you listened to from this week that I should check out that might make this week a brighter spot for me? As always, thanks for watching. Stay heavy, and later.